Holiday blues are just as common as all of the joy that fills the air surrounding the holidays. Depression in older adults tend to be especially higher this time of year. Here to remind us all that help is just a phone call away is Amelia Fan and Shoshay Michaud. Nice to see both of you. Thank you for being here. This is such an important topic. Amelia, let's start with you. What makes it especially difficult this time of year for older adults?
Well, I think it's a difficult time for all of us, but for older adults in particular, it can be a time that reminds them of loss, or a lot of folks, as we get older, we lose more folks in our lives. We lose pets. We may have to relocate. That can be a significant loss. So for older folks, they can be reminded of how things were in a happier time in their lives. And I think we're all inundated with a lot of media that portrays the holidays as being happy and family-filled, and for some folks, that's just not the reality.
Right? Yeah. But isn't it okay? I mean, once in a while, just to have the blues.
Sure, absolutely. I think when it really gets to a point of concern is when, I would say, over like a 2-week period of time, there's more sad days than not.
And we're going to give you help right now. You can see at the bottom of your screen, there's a number that you can call. It's the crisis support line. Reach out. If you've been depressed more than just a couple of weeks, reach out and talk to someone. They can certainly help. What are some of the other warning signs?
Well, so we think of typical warning signs as being crying spells, or being isolating. Older adults in particular may isolate themselves. Folks may just want to again, be by themselves.
Right. Is it common or uncommon for older adults to seek help?
It's really uncommon, relatively speaking, because I think in that generation, they're raised to really kind of pull themselves up by their bootstraps. And unfortunately, there's still a stigma associated with seeking help for any behavioral health concerns.
So, Shoshay, how does the Community Reach Center help older adults 60 and over if they're depressed?
So Senior Reach, this program for seniors inside of Community Reach Center, was designed specifically for older adults in mind. What we do specifically is we visit seniors in their homes, so they don't have to deal with, as Amelia said, the stigma of going out and reaching out. It can come to them, the help can come to them. And also for a lot of seniors, mobility is an issue and transportation can be an issue. So by going to them, we really can help them in their homes.
Those are some key components for the Senior Reach program. Are there any others you want to mention?
Well, the main components of Senior Reach, there are 4. The first one is in-home counseling services. So a therapist, a counselor can go to a person's home and meet with them and help them adjust or get through these hard times right now, or the hard times maybe from the past that they've never dealt with as they were pulling themselves up from their bootstraps. And another component is the care management services. So a care manager can go to their homes and help them locate resources, find things to help them in their home, like home health care, folks to help them put up grab bars. That's a key component of Senior Reach, is actually collaborating with the community and bringing in all these resources in one place.
It's so important, and I want to encourage you, if you need help, reach out. There's the number right there, 1-844-493-8255. Again, that's 1-844-493-8255. You offer a screening, a depression screening. What is that about?
Well, we have an assessment tool that can be used to actually assess if a person has more clinical depression than the blues that you were talking about earlier. So yeah, it's normal to have a little sadness every once in a while. Life isn't always easy. But for someone who has a more severe type of depression, we have a tool that can help assess that. And also, when a counselor can go to their home and talk to them, we can assess for all kinds of things: anxiety, PTSD, depression, anything that they've really been struggling with, and also help them learn maybe other ways to cope than they've always coped, to help them adjust to these major changes that seniors sometimes face with the moving or the physical ailments that start
They
to
can't get
show
up and do what they used to love to do, or a loss of a loved one or friend as they age.
Grief and loss is huge.
Yes, and this is such a positive thing that you're doing for our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for asking that question. And I have a wonderful example of how we do help in the community. So just for the holidays even. Just last week I was visiting with a couple in their home, and the husband is a veteran and the wife is always there in the room when we talk. And the husband was sharing his stories, and you know, the world is has some rough edges right now for people, and it was really sort of triggering his post-traumatic stress from the war. And when I got to their home, the room was dark, and they had it decorated for Christmas, but the tree wasn't lit up. And this gentleman shared with me some of what was going on for him, and I looked over at his wife, and she was crying because it touched her so that he had to go through all these things. And then he looked at her and he said, "You are my heart and my soul."
Aww,
and then
how
she said, "Honey, go turn on the Christmas tree so she can see it." And so when I left, the Christmas tree was lit up.
And you know, in their hearts that brought happiness. What a great example. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you so much for coming on and giving that line. Enjoy the holidays by letting others help you or a loved one that is depressed. Here are a few options. Colorado Crisis Support Line you can call right now. It's 1-844-493-8255. That's 1-844-493-TALK. They're available 24/7 every single day of the year, so reach out. The Community Reach Center and Senior Reach program number is 303-853-3657. You can also learn more online. Go to their website, which is communityreachcenter.org. Stay with us. We'll be back.